Hey teacher friends, Ben Johnson here. Happy Financial Literacy Month. Today I'd like to play a game I call the Teacher Retirement Lottery. Let's get started. We have 3 contestants, 3 teachers, each making the same salary, invest 10% of their paycheck each month for 35 years into a retirement account with similar funds. Teacher A picks the 401k, Teacher B picks the 457b, and then Teacher C chooses the 403b. Which choice will you make? Now I know you don't have a lot of information, but often our teachers won't. And then I want you to guess which one most teachers will end up in. Okay, did you decide which one you'll choose? Let's see how you did. Alright, Teacher A, who picked the 401k, won with 1.1 million. Teacher B, who picked the 457b, gets second with 900,000. And then Teacher C, who chose the 403b, ends up with a respectable 663,000, which is almost a $500,000 less than the 401k. Did you choose correctly? Do you think others did? The correct answer boils down to fees and math. Certified financial planners agree. Now, I didn't just make these numbers up out of thin air. I used a website called bankrate.com that has a 403b calculator. I entered the fees that were listed directly within the companies that provide those plans, gave a salary of $48,000 with a 2% raise, and then I estimated an 8% return each year, and that's how I arrived at these numbers. Now, which one do you think most of your colleagues end up with? If you said the 403b, you were correct. That's the plan that has the financial advisors inside of our schools, in our teachers' lounge, talking to our teachers. They also provide the financial advisors that teach the professional development classes, and so it's the most widely known and, in my experience, the most widely used of the 3. Now the 401k and the 457 aren't as well advertised because they don't send financial advisors into the buildings or to teach professional development classes. So people who find out about those may just have to be from word of mouth or doing some independent research. Now, if you take a look at the chart, the way that this happens is because of fees. Now the 401k has low fees, 0.1%. So after 30 years, you'll end up only giving away about 3% of your wealth. On the other hand, the 457 has a wider range of fees, and the particular fund that I chose had fees that would eat about 20% of that teacher's wealth after 30 years. I will mention though that the 457 has some low-cost Vanguard options that will put you over here in the first and second column. Finally, the 403b is typically a variable annuity with very high fees. Sometimes they're not disclosed readily so that you have to really dig to find those fees, but if you add up the variable annuity fees associated with the 403b, they'll usually end up being around 2.5% to 3%. Even if the 403b plan that you selected isn't a variable annuity, they tend to have higher fees because they come with a financial advisor, and they typically use high fee, actively managed funds. Some people watching this video may think that because of the high fees, these are likely to outperform. In fact, the math tells us just the opposite statistically. The lower the fees associated with the plan that you choose, the better that plan will perform in 10, 20 to 30 years. It's a mathematically, statistically proven fact. It's just very hard to overcome those higher fees associated with the other plans. Now you may wonder, how would you know which fund to pick? Well, with the 401k, when you sign up, you're automatically placed in a target date fund that matches your approximate retirement date. You don't have to do anything. However, if you wanted to, and you were willing to put in just a little bit of effort, you could read a new book by Carl Fish, Financial Literacy for Employees of Colorado Public Schools. It's available on Amazon for $9. It will be the best $9 that you ever spend for your financial future. Within this book, Carl Fish actually gives some suggestions of the sorts of funds that you might choose to invest in based on your risk tolerance. So for example, if you have a high risk tolerance, he will list some funds that you could consider in each of these plans, a medium risk tolerance, a low risk tolerance, or a very low risk tolerance, and he spells out which funds that you would consider, and that starts on page 79 in his book. And he kind of gives you a little questionnaire to determine what level of risk that you're willing to assume. If you don't know, again, you can stick with that target date fund. It does all of that for you automatically, puts you in a very low cost, well diversified plan that automatically adjusts as you get closer to retirement age. So, I'm not the one that uncovered the high cost of these teacher retirement plans. It's well known and well documented. The New York Times did a 5-article series on it. You can read those articles by clicking on the link. The Wall Street Journal has well documented the high cost of the fees with these teacher retirement plans. Frontline PBS did an entire documentary on it. The publication Wealth Management has many nice stories. You can read any of those that you'd like by clicking the links. In fact, nonprofits like 403bWise have been started just to help educate teachers about the high fees associated with their retirement plans and to help them choose the lowest fee plans available. The New York Teachers Union actually in 2018 passed this resolution number 41, where they agreed to help teachers learn about the lower fee retirement plans available within their school districts, and also to encourage school districts to offer low fee plans where they weren't any before. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of the Teacher Retirement Lottery.